Hello everyone, welcome to the learning of Chinese painting. In this session, we are going to learn the characteristics of Chinese painting from the following three aspects: the tools of Chinese painting, the classification of Chinese painting, and the integration of poetry, calligraphy, and painting. Now, let's start from the tools of Chinese painting. Chinese painting tools are mainly brush pen, ink stick, paper, ink slab, pigment, and so on. The first four are also known as four treasures of the study. The brush pen has a long history in China. In the beginning, people wrote on bamboo slips. Around the time of the Warring States period, the ancient Chinese started to tie rabbit hair to bamboo sticks to make a brush pen. The brushes of the early period were crude and simple, while later the texture of the brushes improved in various ways. Chinese painting is also known as ink and wash painting, so we can see the importance of ink. In Chinese painting, 5 shades of ink are emphasized by painters. It is the amount of water mixed with ink, the rhythm of brush, and the length of strokes that produce various styles of paintings. In the ancient time, the artist had to grind the ink stick on an ink slab with water, which is not so convenient compared to the modern ink. Though the modern ink is much more convenient, most contemporary artists still use the ink stick in painting. Paper is one of the most basic tools of Chinese painting. Chinese painters use Xuan paper, which was originally produced during the Tang Dynasty. It was named after the place where it was produced, Xuanzhou, in today's Anhui province. Xuan paper absorbs ink well and shows clearly the lines and strokes. It has great tensile strength and is hard to be creased and crowded. It has been widely used for Chinese calligraphy and painting for many years. Ink slab is a tool to grind the ink stick. Ink slabs come in various shapes and can be made of various materials, such as stone, pottery, brick, jade, etc. A fine ink slab will greatly and positively affect the ink color and can preserve the ink for a long time. Artists created many masterpieces of various categories with the 4 treasures of the study. And based on the different criteria, Chinese paintings can be classified into different categories. Ink and wash painting and watercolor painting are 2 genres based on the color of the painting. According to the painting techniques, traditional Chinese paintings can be divided into detailed brushwork and freehand brushwork. The former pays attention to the details of the objects, whereas the latter features bold and rough strokes, reflecting the essence of the objects. Chinese painters' spirits lie largely in the form of freehand brushwork. By theme, traditional Chinese paintings can be put into figure painting, landscape painting, and flower and bird painting. Figure painting occupied the early periods of Chinese painting history, reaching its prime in the Tang Dynasty. Then, from the Northern Song Dynasty, landscape painting became the mainstream. Chinese painting can also be classified into literati painting, imperial painting, and folk painting, according to the painter's identities. Literati paintings are those drawn by intellectuals or scholars, imperial painting by court painters, and folk painting by craftsmen. Next, let's take a look at one distinctive feature of traditional Chinese painting, that is, the integration of poetry, calligraphy, and painting. Chinese is an ideographic language, and in ancient times, most of the Chinese characters were written with strokes according to the shapes of the signified meanings. Thus, an artistic form of calligraphy naturally correlates with painting. Besides, the two types of arts share the similar tools. As a result, the Asian people already had the theory that traditional Chinese painting and calligraphy shared the same origin. The close relationship between poetry and painting was formed along with the increasing impact of literature on painting. Painting in poetry and poetry in painting has always been used to describe either an excellent painting or a poem. And from the Northern Song dynasty, painters tended to write poems in painting, which is an exact example of the integration of the three. Up till now, you have learned about the major characteristics of Chinese painting. First, the four treasures of the study are used by the painters to create various works of art in unique Chinese style. Second, Chinese paintings can be put into different categories according to different criteria. Last, Chinese painters have integrated Chinese painting with Chinese poetry and calligraphy to fully express their individual thoughts. And in the next session, we'll get to know some influential painters and appreciate their masterpieces. See you soon.